Well, it's going from bad to worse for us at the moment. We are very much at the bottom of the table. We can't buy a win for love nor money. So it's panic stations. That's what's happening. I've changed the tactic, gone with an old faithful, I suppose, of the 4-2-3-1 with the two defensive midfielders. Changed a few of the duties, if you like, within the team, and I'm just hoping that we can get a result against Sunderland here. Hello and welcome back to some more Football Manager 2024 and another part of non-league to Champions League with South Shields. And today we've got a massive match against Sunderland before taking on Arsenal at home, who are the league leaders, and that's going to be an incredibly difficult match. Since you were last with me, we'll just get straight to the chase. It's been awful. It's been really awful. We drew 0-0 against Tottenham, played a slightly different tactic in that match, played some controlling possession football and thought, you know what, 0-0, we'll take that against Tottenham. Went with the same mindset to Reading and got absolutely battered by a team that were bottom of the league. Reading beat us 5-1, and then we played another one of our relegation candidates, colleagues, I suppose, West Ham United, and we lost 1-0. So I thought, you know what, we're going to have to try something different in the Cup. We did. We went more attacking. We played 4-2-4, but it was just too frail defensively. 3-3 and went out on Penno Jeffs in the end. But a much better performance going forward against a team that are in the top half of the Premier League. We're now 5 points adrift of Manchester United, who are the team in 17th place at the moment. Sunderland are down there as well, so it's a massive match today. If we can beat Sunderland, it gets us right back into it. But 8 defeats in our first 10. It's not been a good start to the season, and if you look at squad performances, the place where we're really struggling is goals. Gonzaga has got 6, but most of them were in the Cup. Semedo and Beto have got 3 each. Top assists is 4 for Lewis Skelly and 2 each for Minty and Semedo, and top average rating is actually Yankuba Minty with a 7.08 average rating. So, slightly different tactic today. We're playing just a slightly different style of gegenpress to what we're used to. I'm not going to click on the other ones because it'll mess the team selection up, but just trying to maybe incorporate a few more support roles towards the back end of the team rather than the attack roles. Maybe shore up the defensive nature of it and continue with this very, very attacking front four and try and turn this form around, because we are in dire straits, really. Hoy and Hal will start in goal with Chamadeu at right back, who's having an awful time at the moment, but we still back him to try and do something today. Husa and Marikal will start with Jack Allen at left back. De Silva and Koopmeiners are our defensive midfielders, with Minty, Gonzaga and Aranda starting behind Semedo up top. So here we go then. Sunderland away from home, obviously playing at the ground that we are calling our home this season, and I think that's having such a big impact on us. It really is, because we haven't got any home matches this season, and it makes it so difficult. But it's going to be the first time that we play in front of a pretty much a packed Stadium of Light, and let's see how we get on. As I say, it's going to be tough away to Sunderland, who have had a decent start to the season, but this should be a game on paper that we are winning. We have a decent record against Sunderland. We need to turn it around today, and hopefully we can. Here's Ballard, gets it to Andre, now gets it to Sargent. Sargent on the ball, but Allen comes and collects. Here's Marikal. Marikal finds De Silva, now finds Gonzaga. Here's Aranda on the ball again. Allen, this is good passing here. Here's Marikal. Marikal on the ball, gets it to Hassa, but that's a really, really terrible touch from Husa who is meant to be the guy that is making the difference this season defensively, but he's not been very good, to be honest with you. And Yuzo Otomo, former Flame here at South Shields, is the one that wins the penalty for Sunderland, and it's going to be Sargent that steps up. And it was a lovely passing sequence from us, but we gave away a penalty in the end, and it's 1-0 to Sunderland, and that is really difficult to take. And once again, just really not quite with it this season, and this is our 11th game. We've played more games than anyone. Here's Aranda, gets it to Minty. Minty now forward to De Silva, all the way back to Chamadeu now. And it just feels like everywhere we look, we're just giving away the ball. We've even tried different training regimes. It's just not working. And I think we're going to succumb to second season syndrome this year. And we've just got to try and hang on to our best players, I think. Not only in January, but in the summer, going into next season. And try and come back up with a bit of momentum behind us. Here's Minty, he whips it in. There's a header on, but it's onto the top of the net from Husa there. Tilly. Now here's Sargent. It's whipped in. There's the header over the bar, but Sunderland looking the better of the two teams at the moment. We've had more chances, more possession, but it's not quite happening for us, so I think we need to try and fire them up for the second half. Beto's going to come on. I think he's been our best striker so far this season. Moving Gonzaga back into that attacking midfield role, I thought it might bring about something in him. I'm going to move Hassan there now. I'm going to take Koopmeiners off, and we're going to put Douglas Luiz on and swap them two round and just see what happens. 3 changes at half time. See if that makes any difference whatsoever. Douglas Luiz has done a good job since coming in. We haven't played João Polinia at all. You know, maybe that's something I need to think of. Here's Giles on the ball. Oh, good save. Great save by Hoyenhal, who is doing his best today. Good save there. Fingers crossed he will be able to pull it back together. Man United once again losing to Crystal Palace now. They have had an awful start to the season, and well, I mean, if it wasn't for us having such a bad start, they'd be in the relegation zone after 10 games. So we think it's going bad for us. We certainly don't have the resources Manchester United have. But we really do need a result against Sunderland. These are a team that have just come up. But there's just no confidence about the team at the moment, and Otomo makes it 2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore, to be honest. I don't want to do that, although we might as well. I'm not sure Hoyenhal in goal is really making much of a difference. I'm going to put on David Washington on that left-hand side. See what happens. Here's Williams. Yeah, here's Otomo. 3-0. Yeah. But very, very similar to this time last year. Of course, we were in a big hole. Managed to get ourselves out of it. But we're just... I mean, what on earth is going on here? And I mean, you can sit and you can panic and you can change the system over and over again. But if the players aren't playing well, you just can't seem to get out of that form in this year's game. Here's Minty with the shot and, well, forces a good save. 10 minutes to go here. What can we do? Crystal Palace have just taken the lead again at Manchester United. Remember, Crystal Palace were a team that came up with Sunderland. They are up in 5th at the moment. It is a fairly fabulous season for them so far. Man United have equalised. They've had 2 injuries and a missed penalty. So it's been a hell of a match over at Old Trafford. But here at the Stadium of Light, it's all over. And Sunderland have ripped us to shreds, to say the very least. 6 defeats in a row. We've got Arsenal next, league leaders. It's the sort of game that you come back and win. I think we have to just keep pushing, keep trying, and see what happens. Well, few changes for the match then. We have got Peretz in goal, and then Chamadeu, Marikal, Naroki and Alexander in defence. Louise and Koopmeiners as our defensive midfielders, with Minty, Gonzaga and Washington starting behind Beto up top. It really is getting the squeaky bum time now, and we need to really put an end to this. Yeah, we want to get on with this and put in a good performance. Come on, boys. Come on. Arsenal, top of the league. As I say, we've got a decent record against Arsenal. We did lose a couple of days ago against them. And it was, 5-0 away from home. But for a good half of football, we were competing with them. It just depends whether we can pull that off today. There's Ødegaard, gets it to Martinelli, back to Ødegaard, and that's offside, thankfully. So 10 minutes gone. Dominating possession. Not creating chances, though. And that's been our big hallmark throughout our whole series, is that we're never afraid of scoring goals. But this season, we have struggled a hell of a lot with that. Yeah, I mean, Burnley is still up there. Crazy season. Man United got a point out of Crystal Palace in the end, but they're still struggling. But look at us. I mean, we've played the most matches of anyone. Haven't even had a shot on goal yet in this one. And it is a tricky balance. I mean, how long do you keep with the updated tactic? How long do you give it a chance for before you bin it and go back to the tried and tested? I don't know. We've at least had some shots just before half time. But we have a chance of winning. It's still 0-0. I think we've got to be positive about that. Arsenal haven't had brilliant chances yet. If we can maybe bring on a couple of players that could lighten this game up, you never know. Here's Aarons with a chance. Oof, that's well over the bar. It was pretty rough from Max Aarons there. Right. It's going to be Martinelli now, who whips it in. Header away. Ødegaard. Martinelli. Into the middle it goes. Havertz with the header. There we go. Arsenal take the lead. Whoops. And now, let's see what we can do. So Beto's going to come off. Washington's going to come off. Naroki can come off as well. We're not playing terribly here, but it's just not quite going our way. Koopmeiners isn't a very exciting one to have on, is he? 1-0 Arsenal. And now it's going to be very difficult to get back into it, isn't it? But 5 changes. We'll see what happens. We're going to go attacking as well. Encourage the boys. Martinelli with the corner. Whips it in. It's headed away. Saka's there to collect it. It's out wide again. Here's Saka. Ødegaard. Saka. 2-0. And we drop firmly to the bottom of the table. Don't even look like getting out of this rut. I mean, we beat Brentford earlier in the season. That wasn't a very convincing performance. We got a draw against Tottenham. A 0-0. Everywhere else, it's been a travesty. It's been a travesty. Here's Frimpong. Gets it out to Aarons now. This is very much looking like match over. Aarons into the middle. 3-0. 3-0. Douglas Luiz whips it in. Come on. No, Martinelli clears, and I mean, we just don't have any passion. The team that worked so hard last season to stay in the league is just not there anymore. That was very nearly a penalty. Aranda still going. Here's Morel. Here's Aranda. Yeah, good for him to go. Oh, he was offside anyway. You know what, folks? I don't usually do this, but there's no reason for you to really watch any more of this match. Yeah, that's pretty awful. I am going to play quite a few games now and try and get this back on track. But hopefully you've enjoyed. I mean, you haven't enjoyed it, but do show your support. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section. What do you do? Because I've gone to the assistant manager. I've tried to go with his recommendations to get this team back on track, and it's just not quite working at the moment. And I can't get my head around what is going on and why it's going wrong so much, because we, in theory, have a much better team than we did last season. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be in better shape.